Commissioner Pete Rozell's favorite word is parity. On any given night, anybody can win and anybody can lose.
Come on now, Bob. Let's go, Bobby.
Pete Rozell would be proud of the Northern Lakes League this year. Although Chuck Pratt's Perrysburg Yellow Jackets are favored to defend their 1984 co-championship, it should be a close race.
I'd rather be the underdog coming into this season because the pressure is there, and I feel it'd just be better if we weren't picked.
But Perrysburg is the pick, and that can't be changed. What has been changed is the Yellow Jackets starting quarterback. Jeff Paul replaces the graduated Tim Hankish, and therein lies a big key to the season.
The concern is, will he get the game experience necessary early enough and you know, feel confident himself, which I think he will. Go. Move first. Go. Now fight the pressure! You can't get driven back. You tie up the pursuit.
Coaches in the area will tell you Perrysburg is a consistent favorite because Pratt has his kids so well prepared.
A mental attitude, without any question. I know you've got to hit. I know you got to run, you got to pass, you got to catch, you got to block, you got to tackle. If you have the attitude, those other things will come. Beat him with your move and then locate the football.
Our motto is either back to back or back to the back.
Morley Frazier's Bowling Green team was co-champ with Perrysburg last year, both schools finishing 6-1 in the NLL. The Bobcats are a total opposite of the Jackets. BG weak on defense, having lost 10 starters, but strong at the quarterback position with everything Rich Tracy calling the shots. Tracy is coveted by many of the top colleges in the nation, but he does have a problem, a plate in his arm, a result of a car accident.
Just got to work a little harder, and I think when I get back, I'll be back to where I was last year.
There we go. Good. It's tough right now because the offense we want to run, the young man replacing him kind of has trouble running the things we want to run, but yet we don't want to make a wholesale change. But when Rich comes back, he's going to step in and be a big morale boost, you know, for the whole team, not just offensively.
If BG or Perrysburg should falter, look for Maumee, Rossford, or Anthony Wayne to step right in. Maumee especially could be dangerous with 11 juniors who lettered as sophomores. Tomorrow night at 6, parity, City League Blue style. Dan Savick, 13 Sports.
This has been an unusual preseason at North Hunter.
Jim Howell, a senior tailback for the Yellow Jackets. Down the right side, touchdown covering 48 yards, 7-0 Perrysburg. Chuck Pratt's team expected to be a contender as always in the Northern Lakes League. Strong defense. Number 73 climbs in, Bill Morley, sacks Tim Jefferson. Final score, Perrysburg 14, Rogers 6. Defiance 22-10 over.
Choice to win the title in the NLL, and tonight they tuned up by beating Woodward 21-8. With a minute to go in the first period, quarterback Jeff Paul calls his own number. The kick fails, and it's 6-zip. A Drew Crane interception set up the next Perrysburg score. This time Paul drops back, lets it fly, underthrown, but Steve Brown comes back, and he's got 6 points. Coach Chuck Pratt decided to go for 2. Paul fakes inside, then flips to Lance Landrum outside. He finds some room, and it's 14-zip Jackets at the intermission. Paul scored again on a keeper. The Polar Bears got on the board thanks to an 85-yard jaunt by Carl Jones, but Perrysburg wins it 21-8.
Welcome back, everyone, to TV 13's third edition of Football Friday. I've got a lot of highlights. Frank Cahulli has all the scores, that in a moment. But first, Dan Savick with action from our feature game, Perrysburg at Northview.
A tight first half, a wild second. Ben Tombaugh's 5-yard run gives Northview a 6-0 lead on its very first possession. Perrysburg comes right back, though. This is Jim Howell, and the Yellow Jackets go up 7-6. Sylvania Northview takes a 12-7 halftime lead on this quarterback sneak by Todd Turley. The lead changes hands twice second half. Watch this great catch by Tony DeToto. The play covers 25 yards. Make it 15-12 Jackets. 10:21 to go. Tombaugh's off and running. This is a 15-yard effort. It'll make it 19-15 Wildcats. The ball game will end 28-19 Perrysburg, though. Here's the winning points. Jeff Paul again long to Tony DeToto. This is a 47-yard pass reception. Jim Howell will add another touchdown. Perrysburg is now 3-0. Sylvania falls to 2-1. Dan Savick, 13 Sports.
And quite a game. Frank Cahulli's got a lot of
scores. A 28-19 win over Northview. Dan Cummins has the story on that big game for us.
Good matchup. Both teams are 2-0 coming in. Northview's Todd Turley gives the Wildcats a 12-7 halftime lead on this play. But Perrysburg comes back. Jeff Paul hangs it up for Jeff DeToto, a touchdown. 15-12 Jackets in the third quarter. Ben Tombaugh bowls his way through the Perrysburg secondary. That gives the home team a 19-15 advantage with 10 minutes to play in the game. Then Perrysburg scores on another Paul to DeToto connection, and this run by Jim Howell. The Yellow Jackets sting Northview 28-19 for a 3-0 record. Dan Cummins, Toledo.
Southview rolled over Lake 32-14. Perrysburg a 26-6 winner over Anthony Wayne. Gary Sensenstein was at the scene and has a look at that action for us.
Jeff Paul and Perrysburg's defensive band stuffed the Generals. Jim Howell puts Peaburg on the board first. They're up 7-0 late in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Paul fakes the play inside and takes it by himself down the left sideline. The play covers 25 yards, and the Yellow Jackets own a 12-0 lead at the half. The dominance continues in the second half. Paul, on a keeper, carries 19 yards down to the 7-yard line. Then, 3 plays later, Howell is in again, and the Jackets are on top 19-0. When the Generals threatened to score, the defense came through. Mike Detweiler comes in for the sack. Both teams would add one more score. Perrysburg remains undefeated with a 26-6 win. Gary Sensenstein, Toledo 11 Sports, White House.
Time it was Perrysburg 28, Sylvania Southview 25. Neil has those highlights.
Fifth win for Perrysburg as the Northern Lakes League favorites win a big game on the road in Sylvania. This game was all Southview, believe it or not, for 3 quarters. Collins, 20-yard up the middle for the Cougars. With 14:20 left in the game, Mike Reeser to Jeff Cowell, 6-yard touchdown, 22-8. Southview leads, but the rest was all Perrysburg. 2 touchdowns on block punts. The final at Southview, Perrysburg 28-25 in overtime.
For Anthony Wayne, Rossford 21-0 over Lake, and it was Perrysburg in overtime, 28-25 over Southview. Dan Cummins was at the game, and here's his report.
Southview celebrating its 10th birthday tonight. Paul Kaeg hoping to blow out the candles on unbeaten Perrysburg, 4-0. First quarter, Aaron McCoy gives the Yellow Jackets an 8-0 lead. But after that, it's all Southview. A Greg Napinski field goal. Then this beautiful call, Mike Reiser hits Dave Gagne. Touchdown. Cougars lead 9-8 at halftime. Play of the game right here. Carl Collins forces Jeff Paul to fumble. Jeff Cowie scoops up the ball. He sprints for the end zone. Southview leads Perrysburg 15-8. In the fourth quarter, looked like the clincher. Reiser to Cowie, 22-8 Southview, but Perrysburg scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns and won the game in overtime, 28-25, extending their record to 5-0. Dan Cummins, Toledo 11 Sports.
Football Friday. After Frank Gahuli and I run down all the scores and highlights, we will then get you up to date with the baseball pennant races. But first, a couple of key games in the Northern Lakes League and the Great Lakes League. At Rossford, Perrysburg put its undefeated record on the line against the 4-1 Bulldogs. Perrysburg and Rossford both entered the game in a tie for first in the NLL. Late second quarter, Tony DeToto, 40-yard punt return. Yellow Jackets, with 30 seconds left in the second quarter, will score on Jim Howell's 2-yard run. The kick would be good. Perrysburg defense held in the second half. Rossford's lone touchdown came on a punt return by Neil McKinnon, and Perrysburg is now tied with Maumee for first in the NLL. Frank.
Okay, Neil, 28-22 Woodmore.
The home team with this punt return. DeToto, a 50-yard return, finally upended at the Bulldog 38. Rossford was also penalized 15 yards. Then on 2nd and 1 from the 1, 30 seconds until half, senior Jim Howell crashed over for a 7-0 Perrysburg lead. That was the halftime score. 8:53 left in the third now. Senior Neil McKinnon settles under a Yellow Jacket punt at his own 45. He set sail down the right side, 55 yards, breaking tackles, and Rossford was on the scoreboard. But the Bulldogs missed the conversion, and that would prove to be costly. After stopping Perrysburg with 5 minutes left in the game, the Bulldogs drove to their own 48 with a minute left, but fumbled the ball away. The Yellow Jackets ran out the clock to win 7-6. They are now 3-0 in the Northern Lakes League, 6-0 overall. Rossford drops to 2-1 in conference play, 4-2 on the season. Steve Violetta,
28-10. Anthony Wayne rolled over Southview 24-0. Bowling Green beat Springfield 20-7. Perrysburg just a winner, 7-6 over Rossford. Dan Cummins was there for that tough battle and has a report for us.
It was homecoming for the Bulldogs, matching two of the Northern Lakes leaders. Just before halftime, Tony DeToto breaks down the sideline on a punt return. Kadlasonsky makes the tackle, but a late hit will cost the Bulldogs 15 more yards. Setting up the Jim Howell touchdown for Perrysburg. The Jackets take a 7-0 lead. Early third quarter, this is Neil McKinnon. Finds a hole on his punt return, and he'll never be caught. A 65-yard touchdown, but Rossford misses the extra point, and that was the difference in this one. Perrysburg has won its 6th in a row, surviving the Bulldogs 7-6. Dan Cummins, Toledo 11 Sports.
Rossford shut out Southview 21-0. Perrysburg, a 30-18 winner over Maumee. That was the battle for the lead in the Northern Lakes League. Dan Cummins has a look at it for us.
The Yellow Jackets are in the driver's seat. A perfect 7-0 record, 4-0 in the Northern Lakes, having beaten Rossford and now Maumee in consecutive weeks. First quarter, no score. Jeff Paul fumbles. Panthers' Mike Foose recovers at the Perrysburg 25-yard line. But the Jackets' defense comes through. Dave Barker sacked by Jeff Snell. The drive stalls. On offense, leave it up to Jim Howell. 125 yards rushing. This is one of his 3 touchdowns. Perrysburg building a 30-0 lead on this score by Mike Detweiler. Maumee scored 3 meaningless TDs late, 30-18 final. Dan Cummins, Toledo comes through. Dave Barker sacked by Jeff comes through. Dave Barker sacked by Jeff Snell. The drive.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Football Friday. Earlier tonight on TV 13, we had Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. We will get to that and the rest of the sports after Frank Gahuli and I run down all the high school football scores and highlights. And our feature game this evening is the battle for first in the Northern Lakes League. Maumee at Perrysburg, the host Yellow Jackets undefeated at 6-0 entering the game. Now, a strong first half for Perrysburg, in particular, Jim Howell. Howell will get the pass here from Jeff Paul, who earlier kicked a field goal, and this play goes 48 yards, and Perrysburg goes up 10-0. Howell, meanwhile, racked up some pretty impressive yardage on the ground, 124 yards rushing, 33 on this touchdown run, 3 touchdowns in all for Howell. Yellow Jackets took a 16-0 halftime lead, 30-18 the final. Perrysburg is still unbeaten in the NLL at 4-0. Frank.
Lake 6-0. Perrysburg at Bowling Green was postponed until tomorrow night. Rossford, a 6-0 overtime winner over Anthony Wayne, and Neil has more.
Frank, with Perrysburg game postponed until tomorrow, the feature game in the Northern Lakes League tonight, second place Rossford against third place Anthony Wayne. The
Perrysburg blanking Bowling Green 22-0. In hockey,
won the Cowboys' first win of the season, 6-3 over Rogers. And Jim Howell had 165 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns as Perrysburg beat Bowling Green 22-0.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Neil Hartman along with Frank Gahuli. Welcome to another edition of Football Friday. Plenty of scores and highlights coming your way next. Now, our feature game this evening, battle for first in the Great Lakes League between Northview and Clay, and one of Rossford ended up winning 31-16. Rossford is now 5-1 in the NLL, right behind Perrysburg. The league leading Yellow Jackets at home this evening versus 1-7 Springfield. Watch Lance Landrum, first place, second quarter, 78 yards for Perrysburg back. It's 14-0 Yellow Jackets. Still second quarter, Jeff Paul, the Tony DeToto 30-yard touchdown pass play, 21-0 Perrysburg. Yellow Jackets breeze, 43-0 win. Jim Howell, 229 yards rushing. Perrysburg is now 6-0.
beating Springfield 43-0. Former 24 Toledo Player of the Week, Jim Howell with 229 yards. Rossford over Maumee 31-6. Mike Rump with 122 yards rushing. Joe Durko had 111 yards on the ground. It was Bowling Green by 10 over Southview. And Anthony Wayne beat Lake 23-30.
Perrysburg 43-0 over Springfield. Rossford down Maumee 31-6. Lake and Anthony Wayne. Anthony Wayne the winner 23-13. It was BG by 10 over Southview.
The 7 winner over Rogers, and Waite defeated
Northern Lakes League saw Bowling Green blast Rossford 39-8. Perrysburg a 35-14 winner over Lake. They're 10-0 now. Jeff Paul had 4 TDs. Anthony Wayne dropped a 1-point decision at Maumee 17-16. Southview a 13-12 winner over Springfield. And the